And we
GM.
are live. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, hello. And good evening to those on the,
The
I guess
Far
what
East
time is it in
Coast.
Asia?
Yeah, it's getting late. It's almost the next day in some places.
For real. Appreciate all of our Chinese XRP whales,
Yep,
Always
let's
gotta
get
give them
more
a
of
shout
those.
out.
Yep, good morning. Good evening, good morning, maybe, depending where you're at. Chinese and Cardano XRP whales. Uh, this is why we do this stream for those whales. No, just
Absolutely.
joking. Trying to get a little bit. We're going to get a little bit more spicy on some of these live streams here, but we're going to start off with a little bit more on the optimistic side of things. Want to bring up, well, just for those that don't know, I am down in Argentina, and we are Argentina's hosting the Ethereum Devconnect, which is like a huge world fair, and yeah, I have to say it's been surprisingly awesome. Like maybe like Chris, you can talk a little bit about your experiences at other conferences. I think mine's been like kind of similar, where maybe the energy's like not so good. It's a lot about like funding or like trying to raise rounds and that sort of stuff. But this Dev Connect in Argentina here is it was really well put together. It's still ongoing. Heading down there again after this live stream. But yeah, it's been really good. Let me share like kind of like a recap video here. But yeah, what's your experience been like at conferences in the past?
Well, I have been to the last three Denvers, and I was at ECC in Paris. I think that was 2023. So I've been to a few, and I mean, it can be a nice way to kind of get motivated about the space a bit and see what people are working on. Um, yeah, I mean, these videos are always kind of cool. I will say Denver is an absolutely horrible location for youth conferences. I don't know why they continue to do this. I'm a big Denver hater, but I think the actual conference is generally pretty well organized and hosted and everything. And it's a good way to meet people. So, like, my favorite things at East Denver have been meeting people that I've known from crypto Twitter over time. Some of the events are actually pretty cool. The external events. So I've been to like a Silo event that was really cool a while back ago. This last year, went to like so many events. I don't even remember. I have a list, like a Google spreadsheet of like 80 events or something that we hit
Wow.
um, with the Curvance team that time. But also, you have skiing like an hour away after the event. So a lot of times with East Denver specifically, people go skiing. But in terms of just the conference, the most enjoyable part is if you're participating in their hackathons. Those are really cool. And then if you're there to, meet some friends and see what's new, it's kind of cool. But generally, they tend to follow a meta of, people see something that's kind of hype in the market, and they will do everything possible to get funding for it or to invest in whatever hype narrative. So I remember like this past year was pretty bleak because markets were kind of down. Like people were really into meme coins.
Yeah.
Um, and there weren't like huge catalysts or there weren't huge narratives like we have prediction markets right now that existed at the time. The year before that, I remember people being really hype about like ZK tech. Um, Everybody was like making memes about like all the buzzwords surrounding ZK product and sell me this pen, it's a ZK. Um,
Yeah, there's always like some
L2.
sort of narrative.
Whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. So in general, like if I've never been to a crypto conference, I recommend going once. The first time I went to a crypto conference, it was very, very cool and motivating. Um, if you're like someone who's been a lot, maybe try to tailor your experience a little bit more to things you're more interested in. But yeah.
Yeah, be a little selective. Yeah, I agree. In my experience, I haven't been to too many conferences. I'm not a huge conference fan. Um, in general, but like because I feel like a lot of them just get super repetitive if you're going to multiple conferences a year. A lot of them you're just going to see a lot of the same people, a lot of the same projects. You're going to talk about a lot of the same things. So, but like yeah, like one or two good conferences a year can be like really re-energizing. You just have to be a little bit selective about which ones you go to. And yeah, in my experience, like one of the first conferences I ever went to was actually back in, I think it was 2017. There was a, a DevCon in Toronto, Canada, and that was like one of my first experiences, kind of getting into the space, and it was amazing. Like Vitalik was there, and it's just like it was super early. Nobody really knew Vitalik. Nobody really knew anybody. So you're just like meeting people who later on become like big names in the space, and it was. Yeah, it was super cool. That was a super energizing conference. Got me super excited about the crypto space. And then other ones I've been to have been kind of like less appealing, less exciting. Like I've been to some well, some conferences in Dubai and different places where it felt like a lot more extractive. Everyone just kind of like wants to get money or sell something. And I don't know. I have to say, like this one in Argentina has been super re-energizing again. So I definitely recommend if anyone wants to hit up like just a really good conference. Argentina has some amazing conferences every once in a while. They host a big one like this, and the there's just so much community down here in Argentina, like so much crypto community. There's so many builders. For those that don't know, like Argentina has been hit hard by hyperinflation for quite a while now, and because of that, like it's been they've been one of the highest adopters of crypto in the world, just to try to escape that hyperinflation. So you really like get energized on the ground here because like there's just so many people who are actual crypto users, builders, like building things that they actually need and are useful like for Argentinians. So it's yeah, it's been a great experience so far, I have to say. And the organizers that put it together like did a really great job. It's like indoor, outdoor. There's so many different like events and like stages and different things to do, music stations and chilling stations and yeah, like just a great experience altogether, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean that sounds really good. And I bet the weather is probably like quite nice as well at the same time
Yeah, the weather's
compared
been
to over
great.
here. Yeah. So that always helps the mood. Uh,
Definitely.
it's
I
always gray
agree.
and they always do East Denver in like February to March in Denver, which is like it's like usually snowing and like cold, super cold, and like go dark outside, and it just I would love to be in Buenos Aires. Like we did a trip for ECC Paris in 23 in the summer. That was really nice, I will say. Um,
Nice.
so
Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow here. I'm trying to pull up another little clip from the event. See if I can do it.
did you get to meet Vitalik? Is the real question.
I mean, I never got to shake his hand this time, um, but I was there for his talk. I'll if I can pull up this photo here.
Did you
Can you
show
hear me
him?
okay? I think my
I
connection's
can
a
hear
little
you.
bit.
I can hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you. Yeah, we gotta put Vitalik onto Superseed immediately. You know,
Yeah,
top of funnel marketing,
absolutely.
as they say.
I mean, he's here all week. I'm gonna probably run into him again tomorrow. There's a DeFi day. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Today the weather is like not so great, a little bit rainy. So I'm wondering what kind of attendance we'll get today. But yeah, here's
Oh wow,
Vitalik
he's looking
yesterday. Um,
he's looking quite swagged out.
he's always sporting a new look every conference. Yeah, he was sporting the glasses. He wore it the whole time. Did not take them off. but yeah, his talk. So yeah, day one was put on by the Ethereum Foundation, and it was like called ETH Day, and like it was the whole Ethereum Foundation did updates. Vitalik did a roadmap update for Ethereum. He was sporting his pretty cool gogs, and the place was just packed. Like I think they said that like 17,000 plus attendees or something like that, or registered people anyway. So yeah, pretty wild.
Wow. That sounds like way more than ETH Denver has usually. I might be wrong about that,
Yeah,
but it does
yeah,
seem like it's a
it's been
really
pretty
big
wild so
event.
far.
I guess, is it even an Ethereum specific event? EF, Devconnect, ARG. So I guess this could be like multiple different blockchains, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so this one was put on by like a local Argentinians. Like there's a pretty big Ethereum community here, and I think it was put together by this Devconnect team specifically here in Argentina. Just day one was kind of put together by Ethereum Foundation. There was like some events by the Ethereum Foundation, but in general, this was like a pretty like decentralized event, which was pretty cool to see. Like a lot of people had to come together to put this together.
Very cool.
Sorry,
Very
my
cool.
computer's
Very
like
cool.
completely crashing out right now.
Oh no. It's okay. I'll tell you if you just go robot
Bear
mode.
with me.
Don't worry about it. We can still hear you though. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious what the like big narratives are for this event. Like, what are people excited about? Because that's usually one of the things that matters the most. Is like, oh, this hype narrative is attracting a lot of funding. Everybody's trying to build towards it. You know, um, there tends to be a meta around which narratives get funding, and then that's basically like 80% of conversations at these conferences.
Yeah, exactly. Let me try to pull up this other one here, which kind of goes through exactly that. Ooh, sorry, everyone's gonna have to bear with me because I'm not sure why my computer's crashing out today. On a separate note or related note, that is the only complaint that I had about this conference so far is that the Wi-Fi has been like pretty bad. So I didn't even want to risk taking my laptop down there. Um, I didn't think I'd be able to stream, but it turns out I can't stream at home either.
We'll bear
One
with you.
sec
No
here.
worries. No worries. In other news, in other news, markets are down horrendous.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean,
But
we're gonna get into that a little bit here too. But yeah. Well, while this loads, I'll just start talking about it. Yeah. So basically, yesterday, I was at like a pretty cool side event with one of our partners, DuneCon, Dune, who we're partnered with, and here, oh, it's not pulling up. Bueno, I will just I'll just chat about it instead of bringing up a
mhm.
screenshot. Yeah, so one of the speakers there was a guy named Nadar. He's pretty famous in the space. Pretty like he's with Egan Lair. He's a DevRel there. And yeah, basically he kind of summarized it pretty well. He said, "This is my fourth DevConnect, DevCon, and by far my number one takeaway is that like everyone is grounded in reality and usually focused on some sort of like narrative." And he said like here are the top narratives that he's pulled away. Basically, number one was stablecoins, which was everybody was talking about stablecoins and stablecoin adoption. Number two was DeFi, uh, and then of course like a bunch of other like side narratives like perps, prediction markets, and a lot about privacy and AI and AI agents. Those are kind of like the top narratives that everyone was kind of chatting about. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty good summary, pretty good takeaway. and pretty cool to see that like stable coins and DeFi are like making like such a strong surge, because that is exactly where Superseed is focused in.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, stable coins, everybody's trying to launch their own stable coin right now. All the major institutions want stable coins. Banks want stable coins, their own stable coins. These like payments companies are all launching stable coins. So it seems to be the business model that is attracting people the most, even if you listen to like some of these top executives at the big banks. They've acknowledged the importance of stable coins, even if they don't particularly like things like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or whatever. And the fact that so many people are investing in building their own stable coins is pretty positive, I think, for the space in general. Now, to what extent, these stable coins will be decentralized and permissionless and um, with the basic underlying values of crypto will remain to be seen. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of super centralized, super controlled stables in the space, but the more we can at least get people invested into the ideas of crypto and just trying to use this tech, the probably the better for the ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like one tagline that I've been kind of playing with, which I like, is that stable coins are um, like basically like the gateway drug to the rest of DeFi. Like it's super simple for everyone to understand, especially in the TradFi world. Everybody understands already. Like most of our dollars that people use around the world are already digital. So it's not like crazy difficult for people to wrap their head around stable coins. And then like if we can get to a point where the UI UX is just so simple that we abstract away everything in the background, and people can use stable coins just like they can digital dollars in their bank account. Um, I think that's when like DeFi really like starts to win. When we abstract away like all the complexity, and just like make it very easy to use, like Web 2. And I think stable coins are a very good way to get people in, because like once you get stable coins, you get a wallet set up, you've got some stable coins. There's just like no going back to the TradFi world when you can send a stable coin like to a friend in like mere seconds, like from one wallet to another. Like you're never going to want to go back to a bank and do a wire transfer that takes like days, and you have to
Right.
talk to someone and fill out all these forms, and it's a nightmare.
For sure. And you end up paying way less over time using stablecoin payments, right? The fees are getting like absurdly low. I mean, there's just so many benefits to stablecoin payments over traditional payments, right? Credit cards take like 1.5% up to 3% constantly. They're slow. If you wire too much or if you pay for too much, your bank just freezes your account. Then you have to call your bank. Um, I mean, it's just like it's brutal, and you have these spending limits. You have um, a lot of problems when it comes to stablecoin payments. Doing payments internationally is like a pain in the ass. It's just horrible. Takes forever. You lose so much on these middle management fee, like middleware fees, basically. And it's just for no real reason, right? It's just because the global financial system has all these different layers and someone needs to connect them and that person gets paid and then the people on the payment networks themselves also have to get paid and you just lose so much using the system. So when you have stablecoin payments, you can spend as much as you want. It happens instantaneously. The fees tend to significantly be lower than in traditional finance payments.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Yeah,
there's a lot of benefits.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is why we've kind of like we've teased out a little bit like with our recent tweets, but like once again, like we're at Superseed here, we're launching a money market here in the coming weeks. It's getting very, very close, and it is, yeah, going to be purpose built for stable coins. Like, so if you think about how Curve is like an AMM that's like very much dedicated to stable coins, and they've like just accumulated like a ton of market share because of that, because of their focus on being the best at that area. Our focus is going to be like the money market for stable coins. And I think this is going to differentiate us a lot and give us a big leg up, because we'll be able to offer just lower rates, lower risk leverage for stable coins, and offer people to like just this long tail of all the different stable coins that are available, and be able to hop between them. And eventually, like, we won't give everything away, but like that can lead to a lot more opportunities, especially when we also unveil our Super USD. So yeah, exciting times ahead. I think the stablecoin market is just getting started. Like, I think it's only valued at 300 billion, is the last I checked. And like, if you compare that to the broad money supply of fiat currencies in the world, like that's measured in like hundreds of trillions of dollars. There's just a huge opportunity to bring all of that on chain. So yeah, exciting times ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, even if you check something like Kaido these days, I remember AI would always be the number one narrative that people were looking at, but if we check now, I think probably stablecoins are, if not the second, then maybe even the first. Although it is harder to get people to talk about it on Twitter, right? It's more of like a TradFi narrative, to be fair.
Yeah, it's true. It gets mixed up. Like, if you're just talking about USD, like, it's mixed up with TradFi and could be referring to TradFi or stablecoins.
Right.
Hard to track. But yeah, so as a transition, so lots of exciting, like, kind of to recap, like lots of exciting stuff happening in the Ethereum space and the crypto space. Very strong narratives, a lot of building happening. Like, there's just been like, there's huge institutions that are I think like there's representatives from BlackRock and Visa and MasterCard and all these different places, like at these Ethereum conferences, and building on Ethereum. And like, even Vitalik was asked about like, hey, what do you think about like Wall Street, and like coming into crypto? Like, what's your stance on that? And he said, he had a good quote. He said, well, they're users of Ethereum, and at Ethereum, we're very pro user. So I thought that was a pretty good recap. But yeah, like I guess the point is, like, there's just a lot of optimism, a lot of good fundamentals, like we talked a lot about last week. And in the meantime, the markets are just kind of crap and going sideways, going down. And that was kind of the next point, is like, there's this big mismatch between like all the fundamentals and energy in the space, and then also the what's happening in the market. So yeah, what are your thoughts about the markets? What do you think's happening?
Well, it does seem like outflows on ETFs are pretty high. Kind of seems like there's been things that were, people were talking a lot about someone internally blew up, causing like huge sell-offs at higher price points on Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. I don't know if there's ever a conclusion to what actually happened, but now we're just seeing the market kind of cool off, I think, which is great if you need an entry, right? If you are not all into the market at all times, and if you want
Yeah,
to find a lower price to be able to start to DCA in or improve your cost basis on your positions. As an investor, like, this is like a great thing to see.
yeah, exactly.
Given that you know that Bitcoin will probably appreciate a lot more, and given the way that you see Bitcoin adoption trending only positively. So, you know, again, as we've said before, don't be all into the market. Don't be, hyper leveraged. It just, given the nature of crypto, even in the like dynamic that we're in today with assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's still going to be large volatility, right? There's still going to be huge liquidation cascades. There's still going to be, maybe fraud or maybe systemic collapse of certain entities. That's always possible. And you gain nothing by being hyper leveraged when these things happen. So assuming
Yeah,
those risks
exactly.
is very positive, in my opinion.
I mean, leverage is if you're using any sort of leverage, you have to just think about it as gambling. Like it's basically like going to a casino. So, like, yep, you could win some money in the short term. If you keep doing it over the long term, you're likely to get wrecked at some point. So, just be very careful with it. Um, yeah, I wanted to bring up some more charts here. Unfortunately, my computer is not working with me today, but we can just kind of talk about it. Um, yeah, like just to give people some context right now, like the capitulation, there's a capitulation chart that's going around Twitter here a bit, showing that like the capitulation levels on Bitcoin and crypto right now are like higher than the FTX collapse back in 2022, higher than the COVID crash in 2020. And then there's like another chart showing like the short-term holder supply in profit loss, meaning that like the amount of people who have bought Bitcoin recently, who are underwater basically. Today, that number sits at 99%. So basically, 99% of every single person that's bought Bitcoin in the short term is underwater right now, which is like a higher total um, than 2022 during the FTX collapse when it was at 94%, and 2020 COVID crash when it was at 92%. This is the highest short-term holder capitulation ever recorded in crypto history. So, just to give some context about where we're at. Um, so yeah, pretty
Wow.
wild.
That is actually an interesting point because I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart right now, and by market cap at least, within basically a month, Bitcoin dropped by about 500 million, looks like, to November 15th. Maybe even more. Or sorry, not 500 million, 500 billion. And in 2021, at the peak, it dropped within like 2 months. It only dropped like 2 or 300 billion. So it was considerably okay, maybe 300, almost close to 400 billion. So it was less than it is now, but the cost basis is way higher as well. So yeah, there you go. If you're a short-term buyer, like this is actually this is probably one of the biggest sell-off events that you will ever have to experience.
Yeah,
Um, which is interesting
yeah,
because even in like January of this year, we had Bitcoin go from 2 point almost 1 trillion to 1.6 trillion. So that's another 300 billion sell-off, and that's basically equal to the 2021 sell-off post FTX. And the FTX one happened
yeah,
over weeks, right? Not even days like these ones are. So I guess months, not
exactly.
weeks.
It's just sometimes when it just goes sideways for this long and then just like crashes again, it just like kills people's hopes and dreams. And I think this is what makes people capitulate. It's just the time that this market has been held down because of because of the business cycle, I believe. So yeah, this is what causes people and causes more for sellers. And then to your previous point, like there is a lot of speculation that uh, the reason that Bitcoin just keeps getting slapped down like this because it does look like very controlled selling. Like every single bounce is being like slapped down. The speculation is that like there is some large market maker or something like that got like pretty wiped out during that 1010 crash with Binance, and and right now they're liquidating assets on every single bounce, and they are getting out of the market basically. And this is what is forcing down the markets. And everybody knows when Bitcoin is being like forced or held down, it just kills momentum with everything else also, because Bitcoin kind of like runs the show anyway, is the leader in the markets, in the crypto markets anyway. So yeah, this is the good news is though that like some of the macro guys that I follow who are tracking this very closely, it does appear like the controlled selling is getting near its end. So once this whoever this forced seller is, I'm sure the news will come out at some point that like some market maker got went bankrupt basically during that 1010 crash. Whenever this news comes out, I think there's going to be a pretty large bounce. Because like
Absolutely.
imagine holding like a beach ball under the water. You can hold it down for a long time, but then like once you let go, it just shoots back up. And this is basically what's this is what's
That's a great
happening right now.
analogy, actually. Wow. Did you
Yeah.
just come up with that on your own? That's crazy.
No, I didn't come out. I mean, like people have like talked about this in the macro markets for a
Uh,
long time. It's like it's like the beach ball like theory.
spell analogy. I like that. That's a banger.
Yeah,
That's a banger analogy, yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
That should be a meme, honestly, man.
It should.
Anytime your market is selling, guys, beach ball. Just
Beach
spam
ball.
beach balls. That's
I
a
mean,
great meme.
I could, yeah, I could pull a Rao Paul. He talks about the banana zone all the time and has been like,
Yeah,
he's turned that into a meme. I'll
that's
turn the
true.
whole beach
Beach
ball
ball.
theory into a meme.
That could be you, man. The next
The next banana
the
zone.
next meme, the next banana zone. Someone's got to. That's way too good of a meme to just. I've never heard of this beach ball analogy before, so
Good to
I
know.
haven't
I
listened
guess
to enough macro podcasts, sadly.
yeah, I'm too deep into the macro podcast. It's a, um, yeah, it's a pretty common analogy that people use for the markets, but I guess in small circles.
Well,
Um,
the more you know.
but on the optimistic side of the markets, this is all after concluding the negative parts there. So again, I can't pull up the tweets here, but like some of the macro guys that I'm following. Like the Empire Manufacturing Survey just came out. I think like yesterday, and it's surprised to the upside. So this is like one of the things again that we talked about in the past. The PMIs are like a pretty good sign of the business cycle, and the fact that it is now like really surprising to the upside and showing that maybe the business cycle is going to come back here. It's been held down for like quite a long time. I think like over 30 months. It's been like held down for like the longest that it has been in a very long time. So yeah, these are good signs that the business cycle is coming back, and if that happens, there's a very good sign that Bitcoin should follow it. I can't pull up this chart right now, but there's a very strong correlation between the ISM, the PMIs, and the Bitcoin implied pricing. And right now, there's like a strong divergence going on between like the PMIs are heading up and Bitcoin still being held down. So these divergence usually balance out like pretty quickly. So everyone kind of the ongoing theory right now is like once this forced seller is out of the market, yeah, like I said, like beach ball bounce back, and Bitcoin like catches back up to the PMI's trend. So let's see what happens. And none of this is financial advice, just opinions. But yeah, let's see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you ever trade options, by the way?
I not for me. I don't really like short term too much, and like right now, like um, and also I don't really like leverage. And basically, options are just like, I mean, the trends right now are like a lot of short term with leverage. Um, I understand why people do it. It's a kind of a little bit safer way to use leverage, but yeah, not for me. How about you?
Right. A little bit in the past, but moments like this is where I think options traders just tend to eat well. Um, Although it is hard to time crypto markets, that is true. Like, there's probably a pretty big appetite for um, like long-term call options on Bitcoin prices right now. I gotta check there a bit, but the way people are pricing these and the demand for call options are pretty good. It is true you can get a lot more leverage on options for cheaper than something like perps. And in theory, your like liquidation price and like constant management of your position is not really the same with options, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. You just
Um,
kind of you lose the premium, you lose whatever like money you put into it, but at least you can't like go beyond that like you can with like
right.
some perp trading. When you like 10x your position, you can get liquidated and have margin calls, and like you can lose your entire
Yeah,
balance. So
that's true. Yeah. So I'm kind of a fan of at least seeing what options traders are doing during moments like this. Um, and it's lovely hopium as well. Like you just see someone degenning out on call options for like um the next 12 months. It's like, oh, okay. He must know something.
yeah,
That's always
exactly. A lot of people track a lot of big whales with that. Also, prediction markets are also starting to become like bigger and bigger, similar to options, where yeah, people are predicting like future Bitcoin prices, and you're getting some like pretty popular whales on like Poly Market and stuff like that. That people are like tracking their bets and like kind of like copy trading them. So
copy
yeah,
trading.
I
Yeah.
mean yeah, options are. I mean, most people should not try to be short-term traders. It's a very hard game, where like 80-90% of people lose money. So, uh, but if you can find like someone to copy trade, I think that crypto like really enables copy trading in a much more decentralized and like free and open way. Also, which is a whole nother subject. But yeah, it's cool to see that growing.
Yeah. I mean, in general, I don't recommend copy trading because it gets so giga abused. But it is good to know at least what big whales are doing in general.
Yeah.
Um, if you have some way to track, the way that certain big players and markets are, hyperliquid whales is one good example that people love to track and talk about on the timeline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and seeing how their positions are going. Perp traders are always like very vocal. This is something that's interesting is like people using perps are very vocal about when, and other people are very vocal about how they're winning or how they're losing. I guess because you can kind of hunt them in the market, whereas
Exactly.
with options traders, right? You never hear about these options traders making a stupid amount of money unless they post, which they tend to not. I don't know why. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good point. Like something that you're bringing up here is like, yeah, where is this all going to go? Because yeah, crypto traders are notorious for like being very open about like about their trades, their positions, their sizing, their just everything, just like so many details. And 100% like these people are being hunted by others. So yeah, I would be pretty like careful about those things. I don't know why people like and like we talked about like with copy trading also, like all these platforms that are now enabling copy trading, it actually also exposes all of your positions to be hunted. So yeah, like on the other end of the spectrum, it's yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this all goes, especially with like AI agents getting into the space, which are basically just like super fast algorithms that can like hunt people even faster. And it'll be interesting to see where this all goes.
yeah, the world of trading will change completely as well when these smart agents take over. Did you see Gemini 3.0 got launched the other day? Apparently, it's
Just seeing
beating
that.
the other models at like, I don't know, everything. I don't know. It's like far beyond what other models are capable of, according to some
Yeah,
metrics and benchmarks. So I saw posts recently about Gemini finding an arbitrage between prediction markets just manually.
interesting.
And I mean, obviously, I don't know if these people are. I didn't look too deeply into it to see if it was actually true or not. But at some point, this will happen regardless, right? Some of these models will be able to actually just spot the market arbitrages immediately. So you'll see markets become way, way, way more efficient. I think trading kind of will die quite a bit, at least for the retail trader, when when that scenario takes over. So
Yeah, 100%. I think eventually it's just AI agents, battling against other AI agents, and there's going to be unless at least in the short term world, there's going to be no room for retail traders to try to outperform these AI bots because you can't execute as fast as them. And now that they can think for themselves, also, um, yeah, they're going to evolve on their own based on market information, new data that they get, and it's gonna be pretty wild. There's gonna be no keeping up. It's kind of like as a human, as a retail investor, you're just gonna have to kind of take long term bets or just trust your AI agent to make the best decisions for you. But then yeah, who knows where this all goes? Because then if all AI agents start thinking alike because they're based on similar models and they all come to the same conclusions, then um, everything should get priced in immediately. And then how does that all work? Like, is all the money going to flow to one place and then to another place? And it's going to be it, things could potentially be even more volatile. Yeah, who knows? There's a lot of speculation around this still.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy world. I imagine like the real skill will be like manipulating AIs
Yeah.
to like, I don't know, mess up or to try to like fool them in your trading patterns or in like looking for arbitrage and stuff rather than actually try to beat them at their own game. So yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because yeah, they track sentiment across platforms like Twitter also. So um, yeah, then there's all sorts of new avenues for market manipulation by just maybe someone fires up like some sort of bot that's like tweeting a thousand times a minute about this one coin, and then all of a sudden the AI agents grab onto that and think has like good sentiment, so they start buying it, and yeah, who knows? It's going to be a wild, crazy world in the future. Interesting to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that's all I kind of had on my end. I have to head back down to Devconnect. If anyone watching the stream is at Devconnect, hit me up on Twitter, message me. I would love to see more people, more faces. Yeah, my new handle on X is B Byron. So yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe out there, man. You know, you never know at these crypto conferences. People are just getting mugged all the time. I just hear the horror stories. So, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. This is why I'm not going down there with anything like my laptop or anything
yeah.
valuable.
Also, if you see Vitalik, let him know. Let him know about the seed, the Superseed.
Absolutely. I should be running into him well, hopefully tomorrow. So I'm definitely gonna shill the seed.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. You'll see us again. Things are gonna start to really heat up here once we start releasing some of our core products here. Our money markets launching soon. We're gonna start partnering with a bunch of other projects, and maybe you'll see some faces on these live streams from some of our partners. So yeah, things should start getting pretty exciting here soon. We got some more yeah, lots of stuff to bring you guys. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys. Take care.
Take care. Later.